Good afternoon. It's a beautiful afternoon in Waco, Texas. Well, a virtual amalgamation of Waco, Texas, the University of the Baylor University, not the University of Baylor. The Bears taking on the Jayhawks today. Both of these teams in 2002, I believe, only won 2 games, and Baylor actually did win this contest when it actually happened. But in this game, they both come in 3-1, with decidedly above 500. So you know what? Hey, whatever. It's a virtual space. Art does not always imitate real life. If you're assuming that these simulated football seasons are indeed art, which I believe they are. Anyway, here we are, University of Kansas. We're trying to run the ball. We've been trying to run the ball all season. This is the first game where it really stops working. This game, for whatever reason, was just a much better passing offensive performance. And I didn't really figure that out for a little bit, because I just kept trying to run the ball in the first half. Baylor, with the ball, their best weapon really is their quarterback, who is the sort of like tank human, like kind of like Cardale Jones, who, when he takes off running, he is very hard to get down as a quarterback. Just a very large man. And that you get that momentum up. I believe somebody on Twitter last year called it the runaway shopping cart school of running. There's a fumble there, and quarterback number 3 recovers it. So Kansas gets the ball back, and what do? Well, we go to the option. I was just so bad at getting the pitch off today. For whatever reason, it just wasn't. The ball was just not leaving the quarterback's hands. So the running game does pick up 1 first down here. Then a 1st and 15 due, I believe, to a delay of game. So we try running the ball, only get 2 yards, so we got to kind of go to the air. The 88 drops that, so on the next play, we go and find the other tight end, number 87, who's actually very good. He breaks that tackle, jukes a man out, and free daylight to the end zone. Free daylight is not a term anyone has ever used. But now I have copyright me today, September 9th, 2015. Kansas 7, Baylor 0 at the end of the first quarter. And Baylor continues. They actually start running with their quarterback. He's like a slow guy, but he was actually able to make some plays. And their running game actually wasn't too bad either. Granted, our defense got to it very quickly. It was their actual passing offense in the first half that just didn't work. Again, on the option, we had a good pitch opportunity, missed it. Again, here, good pitch opportunity, missed it. It just wasn't happening. I don't know, of one pitch that actually successfully got off. 4th and 1, you know what's happening. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't even have to joke anymore. For whatever reason, that fools the AI. I believe that is the 5th game in this 5 games I have shown so far wherein I have done a fake punt, because that is the type of game that I play. And you know what? I'm not ashamed of it. Fumble there, but it is recovered by the away team, the offensive team. And we keep the ball. Number 11 just not getting anywhere. And it took me way too far into the game, way too long to figure out that he wasn't going to get anywhere. So here on a play action, we end up finding number 1 basically in front of his defender, and the defender just couldn't get through him to knock the ball down. So you know what, whatever. That works sometimes, and that worked right there. The Baylor coach is furious. Then this broken play, I don't know if it was a wide receiver reverse or I just accidentally pitched the ball. I will never know. Scholars have lost this play to history, possibly the worst play in the history of football. Well, not the worst one. The worst play in the history of football was that one that, what was his name, with the Dolphins, was trying to run into the end zone off the Wildcat and just ended up throwing the ball backwards. Yeah, that was like 8 years ago, but that was back during the Wildcat. It's 14-0 at half. I should have mentioned that. That was a good catch. The third quarter is absolute garbage. I felt like putting a no footage found sign just flashing throughout this entire third quarter rather than show you any of the wreckage and spillage that led to a KU punt and Baylor getting the ball back. Baylor not really doing all that much, but the quarterback getting some work done on the ground. So I will take the opportunity right now to talk about the actual real-life rendition of this Jayhawk team, who last week, interception there by number 39, by the way. That was most of this game was punts and turnovers, and that's about all you need to know. Last weekend against South Dakota State, suffered a loss from which we will hopefully soon recover. If not, I don't see I don't see that many wins coming. However, in the second, you can look at the final score, and that's fine. because that's it. 41-38, I believe, was the final score. Almost tied the game up if we had been able to spike the damn ball. That's the weirdest thing about that game, is how it ended. Yeah, we end the third quarter, it's 14-0, but Baylor has the ball and they are driving. But anyway, yeah, the failed spike at the end of the game, really disappointing. And it's just another instance where it looks like we're gonna pull a victory from the jaws of defeat and end up just doing something else to. It's not quite like the Chiefs, where they'll get up and then the quarterback gets on a sneak and scores. By the way, for Baylor, that's what I was talking about. Just hard to bring down. And then we get the ball back. Number 11 fumbles, and all of a sudden Baylor's like right there about to tie the game up, because that's just the way that life works sometimes. Holding play on the first play of the drive, so 1st and 20 now for them, and we do a decent job, pressuring the quarterback. Bad throw there. On 2nd and 20, they don't really get yardage. They get like 3 yards, not really that many in the context of the 2nd and 20. 3rd and 16, they get up there, but it's still 4th and 5. But they go into a hurry up, and you can see here my team just wasn't set, which I think is something that you have to do. You have to let everybody get to the other side of the line, even if you're doing a hurry up. But I guess not in this version of the game. Would have been a turnover on downs. Instead, they get the ball back, 4th and 1, and they get the first down. And what is to stop them? Again, hurrying up. Everybody gets behind the line this time. But with 2 minutes, 19 seconds left, wide open, touchdown, Baylor, and the game is tied because of a couple of mistakes and an official. I don't know what the rules in that scenario actually are. So you know what? Whatever. But we get the ball back. We're moving down the field. Now back to talking about, that was a good catch, by the way, by number 1 there. We get back to talking about the actual play on the field. Very disappointing. Obviously, you never want to lose to a team a full division. Well, not a full division, a subdivision beneath you. That's just never a good look for the program. But that did happen. That's already happened before. Happened in 2010. And I looked up a stat there. By the way, that should have totally been an interception. I don't know how that was successful. Looked up a stat. The last coach, other than Charlie Weiss in 2012, the last coach to win his first game as the coach of the Kansas Jayhawks was the early 70s. Don Famborough, who is a street is currently named after him. But anyway, yeah, it's been that long. Other than Charlie Weiss, there has been one coach in history who has won his first game. By the way, we get it down. I know I've been like totally destroying the tension here, but that kick is good. It's 17-14 there in the 4th quarter. Baylor has the ball again off the kickoff, but really, what can they do? They've got like 85 yards to go. He got sacked on the first play of the drive. He gets sacked on the 2nd play of the drive, and on the 3rd play, really, there's nothing. You don't get anything out of situations like this, and most of the times you just get picked off. So that's how that ends. 17-14, end of the game. Kansas with the victory. We improved to 4-1, undefeated 4-0 on the road, winless at home still, but only one game. We go back home next week to play against the, I believe, top 10, I think 8th ranked Colorado Buffaloes, which was a very good team back there, believe it or not. But yeah, I don't know about the real team. Hopefully they get back on track against Memphis. I'll talk more about that on Friday's episode. And yeah, I just really hope that they get back on track, because if they don't, it's just going to be sad. So hopefully we win at least one game this season. I'll see you guys later.